Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning back in. Today's video is going to be all about how to apply individual false eyelashes on yourself in a very easy way, and I'll be giving you lots of insight and tips and tricks on how to do it. So let's go ahead and get started. Individual eyelashes come in different sizes and different lengths depending on your eye shape and also depending on what look you want to go for. So my favorite individual eyelashes are these ones from AliExpress. The brand is called Nesura, and I'll give you an overview of the different sizes that they have, starting from the shorter ones up to the more lengthening ones. So these are the size number 6, which are the super short ones. If you want something very natural, they would be really nice. And then we have size number 8, which are just a little bit longer. Size number 9, which are these ones here, again a tiny bit longer than number 8. And then we have size number 10 and size number 11, and there is also size number 12, but I don't tend to use them very often because they tend to be really long. The cool thing about individual lashes is that you can play up the sizes, so on the same eye, depending on the look that you want to create, you can use, for example, a few of size number 9 and then add a few of number 11. So it really depends on what you prefer. So for today's tutorial, I'll be doing size number 9 and then I'll apply some 11 in the areas that I want to lift my eyes a bit more. If you're completely new to applying individual lashes and you want to create a super natural look, then I would highly suggest you use size number 6 just as a base, to add some volume, and then use size number 8 just to add a little bit of length. The glue that I absolutely love and I use all the time is the Duo glue, and this is in the clear version. I tend to squeeze some of the glue just on the pack. The secret for them to work really well and stick really fast is to leave the glue about 2 minutes so it gets a bit dry, and then it will become more tacky, so the minute you apply the lash on your eye, it will stay on and it will stick a lot faster than if you use it straight away when you put it on. Now with these specific lashes, you have to make sure you don't take them out like this because they will break. So you would have to come from the top part of the lash and just remove them. So I like to take a few out and just have them here next to the glue. And for the ultimate effect, you would almost use about 1 row on each eye. And now carefully taking the lash and adding the tiniest amount of glue, so about that much. When it's time to apply your eyelashes, just make sure you never put your eyelash very far here, especially if they're not the longer ones, just because this is going to give you more of a droopy look. So we will start by adding the eyelash more towards the outer corner, but a little bit far in rather than far out. Now take a close-up mirror and lift your chin a tiny bit, and then just place your lash very gently. And you will see that once you apply it on the lash, you just want to remove your hands and it will stick on really fast. Now repeat the same process, adding one lash next to another, but if you're willing to add the extra lengths, just maybe keep a tiny bit more distance between one lash and another in the areas that you want to add the longer lash. And you see they're sticking on really easily. And you can also use your hands just to literally place them down, because sometimes when you apply the lash, it kind of goes a bit upwards. So using your fingers very gently, you can just literally touch them down. Also with individual lashes, you have to be a little bit more patient. And if you find that in the first time you didn't get it or they didn't stick very well, don't worry, because it does need a little bit of practice. But if you do the steps that I'm showing you, I'm sure you're going to have a very successful application even from the first time that you apply them. So now this first layer is just for creating more volume to my lashes rather than a lot of length. And now the trickier part is when you come more closer to your eyes, and if you apply the lash quite straight, it will look a bit strange. So what I like to do is apply the lash diagonally. So I just place it on like this and try to make it look as if it's going diagonal instead of looking straight, and this will give you a much more natural and more realistic effect to your lashes. If you find that when you place the lash in the beginning of your eyes and it's sticking out very much, that means that you probably need a smaller size. So you can either go to size number 8 or go to size number 6 and apply a little bit more of that in the beginning part of your eyes. So you see this one, I'm applying it a little bit more diagonal just so it can look more realistic. And then with my finger, I'm just tapping it down, but very, very gentle. So now I want a little bit more volume, just mainly in the center of my eyes. So I'll go with a few more number 9s and just placing it and removing my hands, and it sticks really, really fast. All of this white is obviously the glue, but after a few minutes this glue dries completely clear. But there's a few reasons why I prefer the clear glue rather than the black glue, because they do come in two versions. The first thing is that I can see exactly where I've applied the lash, and second of all is a lot of the times when you are applying your lash, it might go on top of your eyeshadows, or if you have more of a hooded eye and you blink, sometimes the lash would go on your eyeshadow, and if the glue is black in this situation, it does stick on the eyeshadow, and especially if you have a paler color of shadow, it makes it so much harder to be able to remove it and fix the shadow. But with the clear one, even if it goes on your eyelids and you have a pale eyeshadow, you know, as soon as the glue dries, you can just add on top some of your eyeshadow that you had on, and it will be no problem at all. So I've now applied all of my number 9 on my eyes, and you can see already it has given me a little bit of volume and a little bit of length, and it's looking really nice. Obviously you can leave it in that stage, so I'll go ahead and apply a few number 11s just to show you the difference it will make. Now with the longer eyelashes, you would want to apply them in the areas that you want to lift your eyes even more. So for me personally, it would be mainly somewhere between the center and the outer corner. So I'll go exactly there and start to apply the number 11. Wow, the effect is already amazing. So sometimes if you're not happy with the location that you've added the lash, you know, you can always pull it out. But sometimes when you pull it out, another 2 or 3 of the lashes that you had applied previously would come off. So in that case, just stick them back on one by one. Just make sure your shorter lashes are first applied in the bottom, and then you apply your longer lashes on top. And now I'm taking one from the shorter lashes, the size number 9, and just apply it in the beginning here of my eyes, because there is a little bit of a gap. For the purpose of today's tutorial, I didn't apply any eye pencil or anything that would really define my eyes, just so you can be able to see, you know, what difference the eyelashes can make by themselves. I'm now done with this eye, and I've applied more than enough eyelashes for what I personally like, and you can see already the difference between this eye and this eye that doesn't have any eyelashes, how much more lifted and fuller my lashes look. It's really, really amazing. If you're right-handed like me, you might find that your left eye will be a little bit more difficult. So what I like to do is use my pinky finger just to rest it on the top of my cheeks, and this just makes the process so much easier. And of course you will have to twist your right hand in front of your left eye to be able to do this. You see, I'm always applying the lashes with my eyes open, because I can see exactly where I'm applying. Now, as I'm working more my way in, I'm actually resting my pinky finger around my brow area, and this just makes it easier to apply. But for each person, this might be a little bit different, so try different ways, try to move your body as you're applying them, and see what works for you. Moving now on with size number 11 and putting it on my left eye. We all have one side of our face that is droopier than the other, so with individual false lashes, they are a great way to help correct this, because you would first layer the more shorter lashes to add some volume, but then as you saw with the number 11th, or you can use the size that you want, you can add more of these longer lashes in on the eye that is more droopy to help lift it up. So don't worry if you find yourself adding a few more of the longer lashes just on this droopier eye, because it will help to lift it up and make it look more even with the other eye. Another thing is, obviously when you're applying your lashes, you'll have a very close-up mirror, as I've been doing it all this time. But as you're applying the lashes, it's important to have another mirror that is a bit more far distant, so you can check yourself from a distance, because a lot of the times if you use a very close-up mirror, you cannot really see what you've done. So just take a look back every few lashes that you apply, check that you're happy with the application, if you're happy with the length, and then you can move on to applying a few more lashes. For me personally, the amount of lashes that I've applied and the lengths that I've applied is very, very glamorous, so I'll keep it to this amount. Now that we're going to move on to mascara, before you apply that, you have to make sure that the lashes are completely dry. So give it a good 5 minutes, if not 7 minutes. Here is the big tip about individual lashes, and this might be one of the issues that when you applied them, it didn't work. And it's probably because you applied your mascara before. So if you apply mascara before your individual lashes, what will happen is obviously your lashes will become dry and the surface of your lashes will not be very smooth. So then when you go ahead and apply your individual lashes, they're not going to sit nicely. You won't be able to apply them very close to the root, and therefore it will become a lot harder, and also it would look less natural. So now that my glue has completely dried, there is a big question that I get asked a lot, and it's whether you can use your eyelash curlers. And yes, you can. In that stage where your glue has completely dried and before applying your mascara, that's when you want to use your eyelash curler. Go ahead and use my mascara, and I'll take my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. And it's very important now with mascara is that you apply it very, very close to the root and don't go all the way up to your lashes, because then this will make your individual lashes look a little bit more fake rather than more natural and more fluffy. So starting on the base, and be very gentle with your application. Literally, you're just tying in your natural lashes with the individual lashes. A lot of the times I found, especially when I do on clients, the eyelashes, after you've applied them and about 5 to 10 minutes have passed, usually the eyelashes, some of them might fall a little bit or might twist a bit or anything like that. So if this happens, you just take your tweezers very, very carefully and just remove the eyelash that has fallen down, or maybe replace it with another one. Or if you find that you have a gap and you had to remove the lash, you can just replace it with a smaller size, or you can take a spoolie brush and just brush them away, and it will work really, really well. To finish off the look, I'll tightline my eyes a little bit. I'll use the Maybelline gel eyeliner in black. And I just take a little bit of product. This spot is only for my personal use. This is the MAC 221 brush, and it's perfect. All what you want to do is apply this product on the base of the lashes. So if you want to look slightly up, open up your eye as much as you can and start to push this eyeliner just on the root of the lashes. And we will paint the root of the lashes, so then there's no skin showing. Now be very careful when you're doing this step because it's very close to your eyes. So this is the finished look. I hope you got a lot of tips and techniques on how to apply your individual false eyelashes. Just remember that if you try to apply them and it didn't work, it just needs a little bit of patience and a little bit of practice. So make sure you try it one more time if your first time was not a good application, and I'll wait to hear all your comments below about how it went. And thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you in my next video.